May 5th, children and youth come out to the house. They tell Colin, not up for debate, put him in therapy. He needs it. I'm telling you, I want you to put him in counseling and therapy. Your son needs it. Okay? He's still telling them everything's cool. My kid's good. He's doing good in school. Doesn't mention bullying, nothing. 2 weeks after, May 5th, that would bring us to what, May 19th, 2023. Colt is only 12, maybe 13, going to be 13 in 2023. Seventh grade. Knock on the door. Who is it? It's the sheriff's office. And why are they at this home? What could possibly bring them to the home? Well, come to find out, Colt was on a Discord chat room, and someone in this Discord chat was making threats about a school. Literally, they're going back and forth. Colt is a part of this chat room, and someone in it ends up making a threat to go a school. They come, they tell Colin, they're like, hey, like, this is serious. Was it your kid? Do you think it could be your kid? Now, mind you, the red flags are already there. You know he's been drawing certain things. He's been acting a certain way. He's constantly getting in trouble. He's isolating. He doesn't want to go to school. He's being bullied at school. But couldn't it be your kid, right? Sheriffs are at your door. They're asking you, hey, we have this list. There's a list of juveniles that were in this Discord, in this chat room. Could it be your kid? And you know, he never even thinks to connect the dots in his head of like the fact that Colt was literally searching abuse and how to your dad and all these other things in school, all these other red flags, and not for a single solid second does he mention any of this to them, where he almost is kind of like, well, there's other juveniles on the list. It wasn't just Colt. Colt wasn't the only one in this chat room. But he does give them a little warning. He says, yeah, you know, we can talk to him, but can I and there's a video of this and you can go watch it. He says, when I bring him out, you know, he might get all red-faced. He might get all red-faced. So you're basically telling the sheriff's like, yeah, we can bring it to his attention, but when we do, he's going to get upset and he's going to physically show that he is angry. And why would your kid have that type of reaction if they had nothing to do with making any sort of threat? The sheriffs do ask him to restrict Colt's access to the firearms in the home because they know he has firearms. Okay, you got to restrict his access. This is a 12, 13-year-old kid. He shouldn't have access to it. He never does. He never locks them. He never gets a gun safe. He never puts them away. No, he takes a computer, though. He's like, okay, well, it's serious enough that I should maybe take the computer away from Colt. But he can't recall how long he did that either, because eventually he gets the computer back. And also he lies while he's on the stand, and he says that, you know, the detectives and the sheriffs end up clearing Colt from this whole Discord situation. They cleared my son. They said it wasn't him. It couldn't have been him. There is no record anywhere that states or reflects or has a receipt that they ever told Colin Gray that Colt Gray was not the one on that Discord who made the threat to go a school, ever. Now, 16 months after the sheriffs come knocking, boom, 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 yo, check on your kid. Is your kid doing this? Like, what's going on? 16 months after that, Colt Gray shoots that school up. So, 16 months. You have prior, even now, you have prior warning that your kid could possibly be doing something like this in the future, is already in communities online talking to people about doing it. You fail to act, you fail to react, you fail to do anything. So keep that in your head. Now we move through 2023, we get to January 2024. The court is shown pictures of Colt self-harming over and over again. There are multiple pictures of it. There are times where he had self-harmed, it had, you know, healed, it was kind of scarring up, and then he had done it again. There were pictures they showed of it fresh. And it's disturbing because how can you as a parent ignore shit like that and just be like, oh, well, it's healing, you know, I don't know. I think he was just like spaced out when he was doing it, is what he told me. He literally sat on that stand and said, they asked him about the self-harming thing, and he was like, oh, well, when I asked Colt about it, you know, he just told me he was like spaced out when he was like using my hunting knife to, you know, hurt himself. Into January 2024, okay? And this is where things are way worse. So you have all of that in the back of your head. We know, he knows what's going on. January 12th, the youngest of his children, and he has custody of all three of them now, Colt, Jenny, Coley. Coley gets enrolled in school on January 12th, 2024. January 25th, he ends up looking up information for an online school for Colt, right? He doesn't do anything with it. February 6th, this school emails Colin for a start date for Jenny and Colt to start school with them. Okay. February 13th, the dad emails back that Colt will be doing online classes for an online school and not be returning back in person, even though he never actually put him in online classes at all. And Jenny does start at some time, but he also tells them like she's not going to be coming in until Thursday because she has a fever or something like that. Now here comes a crazy timeline. February 29th, he takes Jenny and Colt to the shooting range instead of going to school. Heading into March, it's documented that they are fighting. Colt is aggressive. They're physically getting into altercations, so not just verbal, it's physical now. Jenny, his sister, took the stand in the trial. She goes over this as well. Okay, March 8th, 2024. Colin purchases a Sight Mark Ultra for the rifle for Colt. March 28th, he buys a bungee sling for the rifle. He buys ammo as well. And all of these things are found in Colt's room. He lied on the stand, said he got all these things for himself. They were all in his son's room. Okay, May 2024. He goes to a pawn shop. He buys 2 guns, one on the 3rd, one on the 10th. And on the 17th, he buys 2 more things for $52.95. And again on the 24th, same, buys 2 things, $52.95. On the 31st, he orders a high-power rail sight for the rifle. On June 1st, he orders a bore sight off Amazon for the rifle. And then we get to June 7th. He texts Colt this. Hey, okay, hey, Bubba, hear what I'm saying right now, okay? And what I am about to ask is not trying to start anything. Make sure you understand that, okay? Like feeling the water out before he talks to his kid. Approaching him in a way that he knows can come back aggression and aggressive and hostile. Okay, question I have is this. Did you tell Mamu that you had the screwdriver in your hand for self-defense? Please tell me the truth, because we both know I wasn't even looking at you when you threw it at me. They are physically fighting, and Colt had taken a screwdriver at one point and like threw it at his dad. It hit his dad, and this was again evolving into these escalating physical fights. And he's trying to talk to his kid about it. 3 days later, on June 10th, he orders Colt the tactical vest. You've seen the picture, I'll show it again. And he texts him this. Let's pause, let's read. He says, yo, I got this for you, son, because I love you. And also, so hopefully you can work on being a little more patient. Colt, when it comes to you, and if you need something, if I can do it, I will do it. But if I cannot, then I can't do it. And that's when I need you to be okay with it. Knowing that as soon as I can, I will. At the end of the day, being disrespectful and flat out being mean and ugly doesn't do anything. So please, when you feel like you are getting angry or about to lose your temper, take a deep breath and then realize I'm going to make it happen at some point, okay? I'm working hard for us, and I do not want any more of that pushing, shoving, hitting anymore. We both deserve better than that. So here's the wind up and the pitch. See you later, alligator. Love you. And then on June 28th, he buys a knife. And he said he had bought it for himself. Colin's like, oh no, I bought that for myself. However, this knife, they end up finding it in Colt's bag after the shooting. So we're not done the timeline. Go to the next video. I'll see you there.